Green 90, Green 90, Monday, 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 42 set hut. Today we're talking snap count, coming up right now. Hey everybody, I'm Mike Pulaski. Welcome to Elite Athletes TV. Today we are talking about snap count. As an 11-year pro and former world champion, I use the snap count as an absolute weapon to slow defenses down. But before we start, remember, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, ring that bell. That way you get all the updates every time we have new content coming out. Give me a thumbs up if you want to learn how to use your snap count to harass the defense, and leave any comments down below. Also, remember, share this video out. We'd love the help for the channel. We appreciate the support you've given us so far. Share it out. See if we can blow this thing up. So how do you use your snap count as a weapon? I'm going to tell you about a tip I got from an old pro, guy who'd been doing it for years, that really changed the way I thought about it. But first, let's talk about snap count. There's several different trains of thought on it. One is that you want to use your snap count to keep teams off balance. And I understand that. If you're going into a game, you've got a team that's got a great pass rush, switching your snap count around from 1 to 2 to 3, moving it, slowing it down, speeding up the pace, being non-rhythmic with it, can keep them off balance sometimes. But if your team's not super disciplined, if they're not used to it, if they're thinking through the process of the offense, oftentimes that'll get you in trouble too. It'll get you some offsides on your team, which will set you back. I'm not a fan of that method, and it's a way a lot of coaches look at it. But because there's always that opportunity for your guys to jump, using it that way can be detrimental to what you're trying to do on offense. And so the non-rhythmics, all that stuff, I know a lot of NFL teams use it that way. I know a lot of guys like it and work with it that way. And if you've got a team that's locked in and dialed in, you can do it. I like using it as a rhythmic snap count. And that's how you can use it as a weapon. You have to think about your snap count and what defenses are trying to do. They're trying to time you up so they can get a jump on your count, get a big jump on that pass rush. You know, it's third and long, it's second and long. They're feeling like it's a passing down. They're trying to time your snap count to get a jump. So when I was playing in Tampa, as a rookie, Steve DeBerg was down there. And we were talking about snap count because I used to use it all the time in college. The way I would be non-rhythmic is I would use first sound all the time. If we had to play a carry play, C-A-R-I, call it and run it, play, I would go on first sound. And my offensive linemen hated me for it because I'd be getting them up to the line of scrimmage, getting them down, getting off the ball. But I felt like it created momentum. It got our guys going, and it kept the defense on their heels. Then, when I would go on one, which was the majority of the time, probably 85, 90% of the time I was going on one, I created a rhythmic snap count. So I'd get up there and check everything off, make sure we're not, checking out of the play. We're not, working on blitz. We're not doing any of those things. And I'd get under center. It would sound like, Green 90, Green 90, sit hut. And so you get that rhythm going. And the defense starts to key into your rhythm. They start to feel that rhythm. And when you feel that defense starting to key in, they're starting to get a jump on that front side, what you have to do, and this is from Steve DeBerg, is convince yourself that you're going on one. If I'm going to go on two, I've already called it up. I make sure that my whole offensive line, that everybody in that huddle knows we're going on two. Pay attention. We're going on two. Let everybody know. Make it a point because I'm not doing it very often. Make it a point so they understand it. And then when you come up there, it has to be the same exact cadence that you use for ones. Green 90. Green 90. Set hut. And as you do it, you can give the slightest head bob, or if you have motion with the play, set hut. Move that heel. Just give them a little something. Now, you have to know how the ref is calling it. These are just like little tricks you can use as a quarterback. If the ref's calling it super tight, you can't go with the big head bob because they'll call you for illegal motion. If you give a huge leg swipe as you're doing it, they'll probably call you. And so you don't want to do any of that, but just a little movement that's part of the play scheme, sending somebody in motion, giving a little turn to the side, anything to go with that set hut, so that your head's moving, but it's not jerking forward. If you can do that and convince yourself that you're on one, you will get teams to jump, and you can use your snap count as a weapon. You want to do it, early in the game. Once they start to time you up a little bit, get them to jump. Now they have to think about it again. They're going to stay on sides. They're thinking about that rhythmic snap count. They're not into it. Then, as you go along, maybe late second quarter, early third quarter, Emotions out there. You're in the middle of a drive. Defense is a little bit tired. Now, all of a sudden, you go back and go on 2. It's 3rd and 6 or it's 3rd and 4, and you need that first down. That's when you save it. That's when you use it. And you come back up. Blue 22. Set hut. Get him a jump. Get that first down. Move the sticks, right? You pick up a cheap one. It demoralizes defense. And it gives your offense a little break, your offensive lineman a little break, and they feel good about it because now they know they've got the defense on their heels. So that's how you use it rhythmically. One thing that I will remind you of all the time is that offensive linemen, especially my center in college, he was great at this. You would call it in the huddle, you would make sure everybody knew, and then as you're coming to the line of scrimmage, he would turn back and go, hey, what's it on? Again, as we're standing in front of the defensive line. So have a code word for what the snap count is. You can use days of the week. It's what we used down in Tampa. Monday was 1, Tuesday was 2, Wednesday was 3, et cetera, et cetera. And you don't need to go much past 2, really. But you can have those code words so that you can let him know without alerting the defensive line. And then make sure that everybody knows. Again, if you're going on 2, make sure everybody on that offensive line knows. You've looked them in the eye. You've got their attention. Going on 2, we're going to get them a jump. And make sure that they know that you're about to unleash the weapon. Do all those things, you're going to be in good shape. You can use it as a weapon. Now, backup quarterbacks at home, if you're a backup quarterback, you need to get your cadence to the rhythm of the starting quarterback. Because if you have to come in the game, and I've seen it so many times, he's been playing offensive line, everybody's on his rhythm of his cadence, and the backup comes up and changes it just a little bit, and all of a sudden they jump off sides. And now that offense is out of rhythm, and you don't look good as a quarterback because nobody feels comfortable in there. So get your rhythm, make a point of getting your cadence rhythm to match the starter, and it's going to be a whole lot better for the team. Last point on cadence and on snap count is I hear a lot of young quarterbacks, and I coach a bunch of quarterbacks out here in the Bay Area, who when they're calling their snap count, when they're calling their cadence, they think getting a gravelly voice is a way to make it louder. That's not. That actually cuts down on your volume. You want to think of yourself as like a great tenor in the opera or a big-time singer. You want to project that voice. You notice when I do it, I don't go, set hut. That's not it. That's low. That's soft. When you're putting that gravel in there, it really blocks your sound. You want to project it out. Set hut. Bring that out. Punch it out there. And that comes from the diaphragm. So a little bit on snap count. Young quarterbacks, absorb it. Starters, use it as a weapon. Learn how to get that rhythmic snap count, and it's going to benefit your team and get you a couple cheap first downs on the season. Remember, if you're new to the channel, if you like what I'm doing, subscribe, ring the bell. That way you'll get notified every time I have new content coming out. Give me a thumbs up if you understand how to use your snap count better now. And also, a comment down below would be appreciated. Would love to talk to you about snap count, about defense, about coverage, anything. Give me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Please share this video out. I appreciate your support, and I would love to continue to build this channel up. I love talking football. I love bringing it to you, and I love helping young quarterbacks and young players really improve at the game. Appreciate you watching today. Snap count skills should be much better. I'm Mike Pulaski. It's Elite Athletes TV, and I'll catch you next time.